with 20 working languages, and this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
El hospital.
還元一級の先というのは、本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Morfar är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Ben neredeyse her gün okula giderim. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is sword, and that also means elephant. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Ça, c'est ça, que c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça. Sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco. Bienvenue à Hyper. Hello and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I'm Elise, translator, writer, and editor with 20 working languages. Let me just say, it's nice when stuff works. Yesterday, I think part of why I kept losing at Shogi was that I'd started out on a frustrating note because I had been trying to do some composing and stuff for the hour before I was going on, and I could not for the life of me remember how to get the step sequencer to turn up on my DAW so that I could just put in a drum beat and loop it rather than actually having to enter it in by hand and, play it in and then have to do that over and over and over again until I actually got every single bit of it right. Except not only could I not find the damn thing, I couldn't remember what it was called. And so all of my searches were turning up useless information that did not actually help me because it was useless. And so anyway, I figured, yeah, so now let's see if that transfers over to Shogi. How's everybody doing, chat? This is a little something I'm working on. A Facebook friend of mine had put a post up saying, you know, not feeling grandiose or anything, but if anyone wanted to compose an orchestral theme for when I do something cool, I'm taking auditions. So I'm like, you know, I'm trying to learn how to do that. So I'm like, challenge accepted. So this is like part of a first draft of that. As we go and set up. Get chat where I can see.
お前が先手だ。対局開始。
で先手だから先に動くことになる。ちょっと騙し高飛車。Let's see. Okay. I bet it's taking a long thing. My idea here is I'm gonna try to promote the Hisha. 成飛車にして、それからその飛車をまた引き上げさせるというのが私の計画なんですね。違うこれ
畳の学位
Okay. Okay. Now let's see if I can get through this. Ah, okay, that's not bad. That could have been worse. Now we can kind of get back to what I was trying to do. How's everybody doing, chat?時間的にも割 悪い状態じゃないですね。Okay. So, potentially a chance to win material here. Oh, that's sneaky. Distinctly ungreat kind of situation here. Let me see if I
7
can
分
deal with this with. Minimal damage. Now, Shuranya, my opponent, really ought to just take my Hisha right now. That's the move as far as I can tell. Okay. これなら、まあこれからこの歩を買っておいて、金を玉前に置いてさ、ああそらひでえな。いや。負けた。 Okay. This is actually... Shuranya... Yeah. Okay, that I was just about to say, that is all the... This is one of the real challenges of this game, because they can just stick pieces anywhere your opponents can. But you can do it too. So... It's kind of a question of who does it first.
体色剣士
Okay, let's get this king someplace safe. Ish.
「形見の学位」
All of this is stuff that I've composed in the past couple of weeks. How is it? Oh, okay, I'm actually ahead on time. That's nice. Is anyone else getting snowed in today? deadlock in the center, so might as well. Try to get something interesting going on over in the flanks.ちょんまげみたい。Hey, oh, I see you've managed to get your username back. Ah. Offering a trade. Hey, Kikyo. この K の道をちょっと防ぎたくてさ。よし。これでパクリは確実。パクってなる。だけどそれじゃちょっとまずいけど。こっちは雪ごもりです。プラハは12月には本当にえらい寒いところでね。私も一回は行ってます。これからどうすりゃいいね。銀をちょっと邪魔したいところなんだけど。これでなって不爆に。 れで今日は隠れないんだ。だけど今日はちょっと危ないね。銀はないから、大丈夫だと思うんですけどね。でも何か攻撃のチャンス見つけないとまたダメになるんですね。
5分。
この銀を送っておいて、これで大丈夫でしょう。直しているし、まず玉の引きはなくなっていますよね。だけど攻撃はできてないですね。そういう問題は依然と残っています。そしてこいつらうちの陣に入り込んでることもありますね。それもまずくなくはないんですね。よし、これでいいわ。じゃあ囲い直しの必要もありますね。囲いはちょっとボロボロになっちゃってます。もう銀と桂ばっかりだよ。の竜は危ないですね。そしてなんか金を入れたら金でパクるのも可能になりますから、一応は安全だということですね。 かしで囲っているということですけど、そしてこれで攻撃になるかし
3分。
時間的には私はもう勝っているけどね。1分対3分って割合で
2分30秒。
これで詰めにはまずならないんですね。ちょっと書くの戸惑いですね。そして時間的にはもう危ないんですね。向こうはよーし
2分。
隠れたぞ。34秒。よし、これでちょっと
1分30秒。
で大手連発。10秒しか残ってないぞ。時間切れがちだぞ。Okay, I timed that out, and it wasn't even a dirty flag. I was actually doing pretty well there. Okay. So I am now nearly 1/5 of the way towards getting to Nanakyu. Not bad. Not a bad start for the day. Okay. もう一度やってみようぜ。 中飛車かな。ああ、中飛車だった。よし。
相振り飛車。
じゃあまず玉の安全。
金無双。
よし、これで棒銀の時間です。パクられた。王手を持ってパクられた。よし。でもその代わりにまだ1枚の角がありますから、それも悪くないという考え方もあります。でも持ち金と持ち銀があって、私はちょっと危ないですね。So oh, I see. Try to see if I can trap them a little bit. That would be ideal.
7分。
thinking. Okay, what do I do now? Okay. This is continuing in a not very good direction. Okay. Yeah, it's always great when you're...
Lose.
Well, that was opposite. Okay. 1-1 today. Better than yesterday where it was like 9-1.
お前が後手だ。対局開始。試験飛車。
Okay, this can be awkward. It doesn't have to. Okay, I do not want you to open up Task Manager, but nice to know you're paying attention. こうの攻撃は止まっちゃうかもね。でもまず玉の安全を保証しないとね。よし。玉を囲っといて。まずI think I've actually trapped the Ryu. I've trapped it. There's no where it can really go to at this point. There we go. Build that back up. Situation is still kind of dodgy. Way behind on material. Good on time. King safety wise, it's not like actually Higunasu is not doing great on king safety either yet. Because they've been so busy attacking me and taking all of my good material. Go. OK、 これで歩をパクるのが筋でしょう。向こうからしては。だからまずなんかこの竜にちょっと脅しをかけた方が悪くないですね。だってそんなハイバリューなコマをこういう風に使うのもヤバさもあるんですね。ヤバい側面は十分にあります。 cool car. Excellent. 마지가요. 야, それでも頑張らないとね。Okay. At this point, I'm mostly just trying to recover lost ground.
Go for it.
Ooh, thank you. That is what I needed. Okay. Now we have attacking chances. Okay, this could be a bit dodgeballs. I think that was definitely not the way to do it. Like, thank you. I mean, I'm not actually sure what the point of this is, but if the idea is to just help me out a little bit and give me back material that totally... Oh.
惜しい将棋じゃった。しかし将棋は勝利が全てなんじゃ。
Okay, that was hilarious. That was absolutely fucking hilarious, and I'm actually... I kind of wish I had recorded that. I mean, that was just beautiful. That was beautiful timing. I had just long enough to completely embarrass myself by not noticing that it was made in one. And to really just kind of build up. Okay, and with that bit of hilarity, I'm gonna take a little bio break and then I'll be right back. If I can find my mouse cursor. Quick bio break. Back in a few. Hi, and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I am Elise, translator, editor, and writer with 20 working languages, and this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
El hospital
還元一級の先というのは、本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Morfar är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Ben neredeyse her gün okula giderim. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is squab, and that also means elephant. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Ça, c'est ça, que c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça. Sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco. Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyperpolyglotting avec
Éditrice est écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça, c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu des jeux. Surtout Shogi en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique, de l'acquisition des langues. 10-159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Night. Night. Month. Yen. Yo. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Bambas. Bamba. Okay, Bambas is ducks. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon. Sotto le frasche del capanno 4 gatti grossi stanno. Sotto 4 grossi sassi, 4 grossi e grassi gatti. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Facile. Sì, ecco, la gente... è la cosa che mi dice la gente, sempre che scoprisce che quante lingue parlo. Io sempre avevo l'impressione, diciamo, di che non era così, non era tan così, ma poi, dopo di aver visto qualche poliglota in YouTube, una delle cose che avevo scoperte era giustamente che la metodologia usata da quella gente poliglota che non avevo mai conosciuta prima, era più o meno la stessa metodologia che usavo io. I buy a computer or what? Here's another example. I like to point these out. And I'm back, and wow, was that just absolute comedy shogi just now? I absolutely can't believe I just did that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have another one and see if maybe I can avoid embarrassing myself like that completely.
対局開始
Shikenbisha.
試験飛車
Shikenbisha. It's funny, it will announce when you do like Shikenbisha. When you like or you set up a particular opening or whatever. But it will not but it doesn't
畳の
say
囲い
like see there. I set up a katami no
Minogakoi.
gakoi, which is like one form of, well, it would be castling if you had castling in Shogi. Okay. But for some reason, they will not like do the same thing if you get your opponent in check. I don't quite get that actually. Okay, that's a strange... What's the point of this? Not sure I see it, but... Okay.
なっておいて。Okay. Now, yeah, I'm not sure about Kumapona's setup here. Okay, I can take up some space with tempo there. That's neat. Oh well, and I get a free kaku. Tada kaku. Yeah, like, I'm actually not entirely... Is this another situation where actually I'm about to get my ass kicked and I'm missing it? I mean, I don't see it. But, I mean, I didn't see it that last time either. Oh, okay. I mean, いただきます。
7分。
Okay.
Victory!
Nice. Definite improvement over some of the games that I've played today. Though, I mean, that last one was still a classic.
お前が先手だ。隊長
Then
停
get
止。
up. Okay. Okay. Sort out King safety. Hey, River Rune, how you doing? Okay. Materially, that wasn't great, but still in it. Those things, but also strangely feeling rather good today. I think partially just down to the fact that I managed to make something work that had been a pain in being a pain in the ass yesterday.
7分。
We're getting snowed in over here. Oh, hey, Badger! How you doing? Oh, wow. I gotta watch out for my time, it seems. Potentially nice little discovery there. Okay. Now I potentially have some opportunities.
3分。
Yes, this is the stuff I've been composing over the past couple of weeks. Oh shit, I am actually really short on time at this point. So I'm going to have to do something about that.
2分。
くそ。
1分30秒。
Oh, thank you. Oh, バカだ。そんなバカなこと。That wasn't great. And I'm running out of time. I was trying to run out the clock a little there.
.30 秒。20秒。10秒。
kind of unlikely to win this one, I think, at this point.
時間切れ
Ooh. Okay, now we're going to shift gears a little bit and maybe look at some video things once I find that window. Okay, kind of curious about the only exercise that actually makes you fluent, because that already just sounds wrong. Because
What's the most time-efficient way to actually learn
this
to
is
speak
from
a language?
Mikel.
Not
And I mean, what we've seen of the method that he also is selling commercially really relies very heavily on rote memorization and other things that don't actually have a very good track record. So I'm kind of curious what this is. It says 99% will never do this. Wow, that's like we're getting very heavily into clickbait territory with this title. Yeah, I'm surprised we don't have. I bet you won't share this.
understand it a little, not kind of get it. I mean, to open your mouth and speak well, confidently, without having to stop and think for a while about grammar. This is a question I get a lot from people who want to improve as fast as possible. People who are disciplined and hardworking, willing to do whatever it takes to get results. And my answer is always the same. And 99% of language learners will never do this because it's frustrating.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like at this point kind of taking bets for what it's going to be with this build-up that it's getting.
It exhausts your brain. It forces you to face the truth. You don't actually
Yeah,
know
I know, the secret method. Ya no te creo, weón.
the language. Not until you can produce it. And that is the difference between people who study languages, who pretend to learn with immersion, and people who actually
Who pretend to learn with immersion. I mean, this is wild. I mean, so he's just calling people who use empirically validated methods of language acquisition liars right there. That's really strong, and I mean, I have to say, when you make a claim like that, you'd better actually be able to show better results than the people you're saying pretend to learn with immersion do. Which, I mean, I have to say, what I've seen of him speaking in languages, I mean, other than his, native languages, I would not actually say that he's in a position to be making that sort of an accusation, really.
become fluent. So listen very carefully, because
Because 99% of you won't share this. And if you don't share this, then, like, God won't give you likes on the post or something. I don't fucking know.
this exercise is the biggest game changer in language learning. And
The
no,
biggest game it's the biggest game changer too. It's the only one that makes you fluent and the biggest game changer. So literally what he's saying here, if we just follow the logic, is that anyone who has become fluent in any language other than a native language has done this thing, because it's the only exercise that will make you fluent.
it's not immersion with YouTube videos or watching Netflix for 10,000 hours. None of that nonsense. This is hard work.
And it's hard work. We've heard like several times, and also he said that people who do this, they're really disciplined, and they should pat themselves on the back for that. Weón, a ver, la pomada que estáis vendiendo. Quiero verla, weón. A ver, muéstranos tu pomada, weón.
I'm talking about active recall. This is what
Active recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
neuroscientists will tell you to do if you ask them about the most efficient way to
Oh, wait, what did he just say?
will tell you to do what active recall. This is what neuroscientists will tell you to do.
Like, okay, but neuroscientists aren't language acquisition researchers. I mean, I guess some of them, I mean, they're probably people who are doing, like, interdisciplinary work between neuroscience and language acquisition research. But, like, lots of neuroscientists are doing all sorts of, I mean, completely unrelated stuff. So why are we asking neuroscientists? I mean, are you just kind of annoyed with what the language acquisition specialists say about... I mean, this is starting to sound very much like rote memorization, which is literally the only other thing that I've seen him selling.
If you ask them about the most efficient way to learn anything, this
Yeah, but learning anything and learning a language are not the same thing. That's why there's a whole fucking separate discipline. What about neurolinguists, maybe? Do they say this?
is how world-class performers train the brain. And
Oh, okay, so if you do this, you're doing it like a world-class performer at something. We don't know what.
it's the single most powerful thing you can do for language learning. And it's extremely simple. Comprehensible input, when you just read or listen to the language and you understand
Ooh.
most of it, help
I mean, that's not even a particularly accurate description. Comprehend... Yeah, I know. I mean, already we've got, like, this very common misconception. I honestly, it's so common I don't really blame anyone for doing it, of confusing comprehensible input with a method in itself. Like, comprehensible input isn't a method. It is the stuff that has to be there for any method to work.
helps you maintain and slowly improve your knowledge. But it usually only helps with understanding, with one exception I'll talk about later. But
Okay, I'm kind of curious about what the one exception is gonna be.
for the most part, input does not build speaking skills. You do not
I mean, that's just not true. I mean, see, if he asked somebody other than neuroscientists, say specialists in this area, they would say that this is not actually true, what he just said, because your speaking skills depend on actually having acquired the language. You are not going to, like, speaking skills that are at all useful, i.e. where you speak without having to think about how to, like, physically and grammatically articulate it, that is very much dependent on language acquisition, and language acquisition is dependent on that input. That is not the only thing. Like, obviously, you're going to be a better and more confident and easier to listen to speaker if you do more of it and just, like, get better. That's true in, like, that's true in any language. Well, public speaking is a skill. But to say that the stuff of language acquisition is irrelevant to developing speaking ability, dale con la weá, po.
to speak by listening. You learn how to speak by speaking. And this is where most people think that they should simply talk to native speakers.
I mean, it's not a bad thing to do.
Big mistake. Talking to native speakers is great. You should do it as much as possible, but it's got a lot of shortcomings. Mostly that you...
And it's worth noting that speaking to native speakers, for example, is another way of acquiring comprehensible input. I mean, input does not stop because you've reached a certain level. Input is something that is ongoing. Like, if I talk to somebody and they say stuff back to me, that's input too. And if I understand what they said, then it's comprehensible as well. And if it includes structures that I'm not quite flash on just yet, but I still understand it despite not really having acquired the structure, then it's even that special sauce, the I+1 comprehensible input. So these things are not mutually exclusive.
Don't get feedback most of the time. You don't get corrected.
Which is actually good, That is actually a good thing because getting corrected does not help. It is actually toxic to the process.
Also that you
When speaking,
often
especially.
don't have the chance to practice speaking to native speakers every time you want, because it requires you having access to another person. So the solution is retrieval practice. Translation into the target language.
Oh god, I mean, wow, his fucking special sauce is the bullshit that so many high school language courses are based on, that people are able to get straight A's in over 4 years and still not have any knowledge of the language. This is what he's doing. And also translation is a completely separate skill to actually knowing a language. Like, you can be bilingual, you can have equal fluency, like C2 level fluency in 2 or more languages, and still be absolute dog shit as a translator. It is a very separate thing. It's because there's a difference between being able to interact with the world in a language and being able to make 2 languages interact with each other. Those so I mean, already no me impresiona, weón.
With feedback. You make as many mistakes as possible, and you always look at the feedback. By making
Will you make as many mistakes as possible? You're trying to fuck up?
as many mistakes as possible, translating into the language, and then looking at the feedback. You can learn from your mistakes, and you can fix them
But
without making all those mistakes in front of people.
yeah, but that's not the same thing. That is not something that is going to train you in speaking. Like, that's not going to train you in comprehension necessarily. It's also not going to really train you specifically in speaking. So he's just saying do translation exercises and find somebody to correct them. Is that is that what he's talking about? 99% of people won't do this. This is the thing. This is the special sauce that that without which you will never get fluent in a language. Translation exercises?
If you're afraid of making mistakes in front of people, if you are afraid of speaking, this exercise is for you. You do a lot of reps, you make a lot of mistakes, you try again, you look at the feedback.
What do you mean do a lot of reps? You're gonna translate the same shit over and over again?
You try again, you make much fewer mistakes, you look at the feedback again, you try again. And
I mean,
eventually you'll make...
this guy who's telling us... I don't get that either. And I have to say, it's like... And I'm not gonna do this... I don't do this normally, but I do have to say... It's like, for somebody who is actually... He has outright said in this video that people who are recommending empirically validated methods based on comprehensible input, which is not a method in itself. Again, I have to repeat it because so many people get that wrong. But is an ingredient that is essential to a method. Who's basically saying that anyone who tells you different than him is a fraud. I have to say the non-Spanish, non-Basque language that he seems to be most confident in, he makes an awful lot of mistakes in it. Which, I mean, that's not a bad thing. I don't believe in shaming people for fucking up their grammar. But if you're going to make claims like this, you better have like really polished speech.
Basically no mistakes at all. It's brutal, it's frustrating, it's hard work, but it's extremely effective. Here's how it
Based on what? Like, I mean, you're gonna say it's extremely effective. Like, what's your evidence?
works exactly. You take a list of full sentences in your target language.
Out of context, full sentences, okay?
Daily sentences you've already read before, and sentences that are useful, so preferably your own sentences from your language islands. Sentences that actually matter to you in real life. You review them a few times, and then you start translating from your native language into the target language, out loud. No reading, no cheating. You simply try to translate those sentences into the target language. You will fail constantly because this exercise is very difficult. You will
Well, yeah, I mean, it depends on how we're defining fail, though, really. Because if you're managing to express it in a way that you make yourself understood, I mean, depending on where what your starting point is, maybe you already are able to do that. But if you're all, I would say, if you're able to make yourself understood, if you are able to accurately express the idea, in the way that a native speaker of the target language understands what you mean, I would not call that a failure, personally. I feel like he would call that a failure. But I would not, because that's all, you're already managing to express an idea that is useful to you, because he's saying sentences that are useful to you. And I agree that focusing on stuff that actually matters to you is important. I definitely agree on that. I mean, it just really helps with the motivation apart from everything else. But, like, it's not a failure if you manage that and your grammar isn't soigné. But you're communicating the message. That's a starting point, if anything.
You forget words you literally saw 30 seconds earlier. Perfect. That's the whole point.
The point is to forget words that you literally saw 30 seconds earlier. Okay.
See your weaknesses in real time. Instant feedback. It's the brutal truth. You either know it or you don't. If you don't know the words...
Yeah, but the thing is, this is not a natural experience. This is not actually in any way a realistic environment in which to be doing this, though. Because in an interaction, there's context. And context has a lot to do with recall, especially when it comes to language. You can not have a word come to mind all day, and then you find yourself in a context where that word makes sense, where that word is somehow at home, and suddenly it'll occur to you. So, like, context actually matters, and this is contextless. So I don't really think that you're necessarily getting useful feedback, because the thing is, native speakers, if you have put them in a situation, in a context-free zone, and ask them, just throw random words and phrases at them, they're not going to have as good recall of those meanings as if you were to give them a very rich context-full experience.
You'll see
and then
immediately that
ask
you
them
don't
to
know
explain
the
their
words.
stuff.
If your grammar is terrible and you make lots of mistakes, you will see immediately that your grammar is terrible and that you make a lot of mistakes. And the very moment you realize...
Yeah, like, you probably already knew that. Like, if you're watching this video in hopes of getting advice to be, like, one of the 1% of people who actually get fluent, using this one exercise that is essential, then, like, you already know that you're probably making a lot of mistakes. That is kind of the default assumption, so you've learned nothing.
You made a mistake. When you check the correct sentence, you can repeat it aloud correctly. So you're correcting yourself on the spot. And this is where the brain...
Oh, but you're correcting
Not
yourself.
When you are passively
Wait, what?
listening.
You're correcting yourself on the spot, but, like, so without any input from somebody who is a native speaker of the language, or at the very least is better at it than you. So you may be correcting yourself wrong. You may be wasting your time entirely in that sense, because you go back and you say, okay, so you're doing it out loud. So you go back and you say, oh, wait, I don't think I did that right. And then you kind of infer from your explicit grammar instruction, I guess, and you say, oh, okay, this might be the way to do it, but maybe it's absolutely decided to disconnect itself. So I am going to, there's only one way to actually get the camera to reboot. You can't just reset it within OBS. So everybody just You're all on, let me see, make sure. You're all on YouTube, right? Oh, well, I mean, okay, YouTube and also, Twitch. So just sit there, stay there for a second. I'm going to have to go out and come back in order to get the camera to be working again, so that it isn't that wonderful freeze frame for the rest of our stream. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, for some reason my front USB panel on my computer just sort of crapped out for a second, and that caused this problem. But okay, so we were talking about how you're going to make a whole bunch of mistakes while doing verbal translation of written sentences to yourself, and you're going to learn that you're making a lot of mistakes. And, like, okay.
And absorbing the language through immersion and all of that. This is how you actually learn. Expect the lot of mistakes. And the very moment you realize you made a mistake, when you check the correct sentence, you can repeat it aloud correctly. So you
no, wait, you already have, okay, so you have the correct sentence. So you're just fucking memorizing. This is just rote memorization. This isn't even, hey, so you're just trying to memorize the fucking sentences. So this is not a new thing. I mean, because previously what we've seen is him just like, spruiking all sorts of rote memorization stuff as if that was useful. So you're doing rote memorization. That's the exercise. Well,
correcting yourself on the spot. And this is where the brain rewiring is happening. Not when you are passively listening.
This is where the brain rewiring is happening. The rote memorization. Wow, I mean, fucking innovative.
And absorbing the language through immersion and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, all the fucking language acquisition researchers who have shown otherwise, they're all lying too, apparently. He knows anonymous neuroscientists who agree with him.
This is how you actually learn. This is adaptation under pressure. What?
Yeah, but this is adaptation under pressure. Like, how? You're not adapting. You're just fucking. This is rote memorization.
Why does this exercise work so well? Why is it so powerful?
You know, like, what's the? How about? Wait a second. Hold your horses here. Before we go into how does it work so well, why don't we show some evidence that it works? You said neuroscientists say that this works. Show us a neuroscientist who says that it works, then. Got some papers you could cite?
Because it trains 3 different skills at the same time, at maximum intensity. Number 1 is fluency. How fast you can retrieve the information from
That's not what fluency...
your mind.
Like, fluency is how fast you can retrieve information? That's how he defines fluency? Like, what? So, that's what he thinks he's doing here in English right now. He is just doing information retrieval. Yeah, I know, high-level ideas in the intellectual dork web. God, okay, so he's using a definition of fluency that I never in a million years would have come up with. And I don't, that's just wild.
It's one thing if you're able to recognize the words and the sentences, but being able to retrieve that information, being able to remember it fast enough, and then...
That's what he thinks this is. It's remembering information. That's what he's doing right now, is he's just remembering information. This is his fucking theory of language acquisition.
Deliver it convincingly in real
style.
time. That's very different. That's a skill you need to practice. That's what real fluency is, right?
Really? I mean... Okay, you were talking about neuroscientists agreeing with you. Can you find some neuroscientists who will tell you that that's what fluency in a language actually is? God, this is wild.
It's being able to remember what you need to say fast enough and well enough.
So he thinks that we just have like a mental Rolodex of phrases, an Excel table of phrases, and we just pull out individual phrases when we need them. This is his fucking theory. See, I would not go so hard on somebody saying this if they weren't also trying to make money off of it. If they weren't actually selling this. Like, if somebody, I mean, people are wrong on the internet a lot. It's kind of one of the things people go to the internet for. They go to the internet for porn and to be wrong about things. Those are two, like, constants of the universe, I think. But, I mean, he's selling this, and he's sitting here telling people, it's not just, this will be helpful, but, like, anyone who tells you different is full of shit. Anyone who has a completely different approach to this, other than my innovative rote memorization thing, because nobody's ever tried that before, is a grifter. Like, when somebody's saying that, then I gotta go in hard. Then when somebody's is saying that, and what they're saying is wrong, then I feel very different about it.
So with this exercise, you develop your fluency, your ability to think faster, but you also develop your ability to think better in the language. Accuracy, precision, good.
Accuracy. But this isn't thinking at all. This is just you're trying to recall rote phrases. Like, where is the part where you sit there and understand what somebody is saying and react to that? Where is the reflective part? I mean, you're training memorization.
Grammar, good structure. Making lots of mistakes and getting corrected constantly will help you be much more accurate when you speak. And you're also building muscle memory.
Like, okay, then he needs to show us the list where he actually, that sentence, he, like, memorized that fucking sentence. Apparently. Oh, you're building muscle memory, too. You're building muscle. Let's hear about the muscle memory.
Building speaking reflex. You're not just acquiring knowledge, you are practicing. Because speaking a language is a physical skill. If you only listen to the language...
But there are lots of ways that you can get that particular fucking practice. Like, you can get that practice by singing in the shower in your target language, for fuck's sake. And it would probably be more rewarding.
Only read, or you do grammar exercises, you will understand more and more, but you will still freeze when it's time to speak.
How is this going to help you speak, though? This isn't speaking. How is this going to help you not freeze when it's time to speak? Like, all you're doing... These are these are the sort of exercises that a lot of people did all through, like, high school, and they still freeze when it's time to speak because that's a completely different thing. Rote memorization does not actually make you confident to speak. Freezing up when it's time to speak has a lot of different aspects to it, and this, like, rote memorization is not going to address most of them.
But this exercise will change that, because this is retrieval training. This is the most realistic exercise you can do to train your conversation skills.
How is this a realistic way to train conversation skills at all, though? It isn't, like, is that, Chad, is this how your conversations generally work? You have a piece of paper and it has a list of phrases on it. And you have memorized a list of translations of those phrases and you try to recall them at random. Is that how your conversations normally work? Mine don't. But maybe that's just a me thing. Like, how is this a realistic... This is not a realistic conversation. Well...
And let me be extremely clear. You can do this from day one, even as a beginner. You review the sentences.
Yeah, I mean, as a beginner, it's even more useless than any other time, because you're not going to understand most of what's going on. You're just memorizing fucking phrases.
once. And
Like, okay, so you memorize the phrases. How does that help you actually understand what people reply? Because eventually people do reply. Okay, so you memorize the phrase. I think the second movement of that piece was derivative. Okay, so you've memorized that phrase. You've got that phrase. You can, like, walk up to somebody on the street and say, hey, I thought the second movement of that piece was derivative. And then they come back and they say, and they say whatever they say, and you still don't know what the hell they said. Exactly, like, what is, I mean, we remember things because they're associated with things. I mean, yeah, this is kind of I mean, and to be saying that anyone who tells you different than this crap, let's just be frank about it, is lying to you, or at least strongly implying that when he says pretending to become fluent with comprehensible input. Like, I have never done this exercise. I've done translation exercises, yes, but not where I'm just trying to remember a translated phrase and memorize it. That's not something I've done much of any of in my entire life. So if he's saying that this is how you become fluent,
immediately try to reproduce them. You will fail, of course. Maybe you feel stupid or frustrated. Perfect. Do it again. The second round, you'll remember a lot more of them. The third
yeah, but can you actually have a conversation?
round, you'll remember even more. With each round, you'll
And this is what a conversation is, you see. It's just a contest to see who's memorized more phrases. He must be a dream to talk with.
This is the progress. You make much fewer mistakes. So this exercise, even if it's hard and even if it's difficult to get going, once you get going, it can be addictive because you can try.
Yeah, that is an addiction I don't think I'm in any danger of having. The fucking rote memorization addiction. Combined with, I mean, he pointed out we get to experience failure and feeling stupid. I mean, wow, I mean, I could get hooked on that. I love to experience failure and feeling stupid.
Track your progress in real time. Now, here's where it gets even better. If you combine
even better than failing a lot and feeling stupid in rote memorization, well, like, okay, how could it get better?
This exercise, active recall, with shadowing, listening and repeating entire sentences, your speaking skills will skyrocket.
Oh, wait, this is where it gets better? I thought that was the whole premise of the bit.
Because listening and repeating massive amounts of complete sentences will massively
Yeah, good point, River Rune. This is self-contradictory. Because a second ago, he said, make as many mistakes as possible. At the same time, as he's saying that there is already a list of the correct translations that you're working from. Which is also not how languages work, that there's just only one possible translation a lot of the time. I mean, sometimes there are. Sometimes that's true. A lot of the time, there are a lot of different ways you could express the same idea. But yes, he did say that, so... Like, you're just trying to remember shit off a list. I'm impressed.
improve your fluency and your pronunciation. An active recall will improve your
You
ability
can,
to remember those sentences.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell you're doing, again, if you're going to be positioning yourself as the one person who's going to tell you the truth about how to get good fluency and pronunciation, then wouldn't you want to make sure that your pronunciation was fucking soigné? Like, I don't do that. I'm not gonna say that there's only one way to do it, and I'm not gonna say I'm the only one who has a way to do that. I'm not even gonna say I have like fucking perfect pronunciation in every language I speak. But that is not like the claim that I make to why anyone should listen to me about this and pay me money, which, I mean, I'm always open to people who want to do that. Always a big help. It helps me continue doing what I do and translating Ines Armand and all and eating and stuff too. But he does. And like I had a lot of trouble distinguishing between shadow and shallow a second ago when he was saying it, which are not like. So I don't know if he needs to be telling people that he's got the fucking secret sauce for perfect pronunciation as well.
When you need them. These two
Because if he has
exercises
got it, then why doesn't he partake of it? Why does he not dip his chips in that secret sauce?
are a perfect combination. One trains your mouth and the other one trains your brain. You stack both and language fluency becomes inevitable. If you
Wait, what did he say you suck both?
do this daily for a week, you'll start noticing results. And if you do this daily for
Yeah, the result being that you get sick of it.
a month, people around you will start noticing because you sound way better. Now, most people will never do this because
It sucks.
most people are lazy. That's it.
Oh, I mean, he's really leaning into the bit where if you do it the way he says to do it and possibly pay him money to do it, that also makes you a better person.
The sad truth. They want magic apps, they want gamified, they want effortless, the lazy way, all of that. Passive learning, no effort. They want results without work. And that is why they are getting the results they are getting.
Yo estoy muy satisfecha con los resultados que estoy obteniendo, weón. I risultati miei mi soddisfanno pienamente, cazzo. お前はどうだ？お前のその発音でいいのか？それで満足なのか？ Ты доволен? Я бы на твоем месте не была довольна.
Most of them will never even become conversational.
Удовлетворена.
But if you are the kind of person who actually wants results and you're willing to work hard, this is what you need to do. You take 4 sentences, real sentences, your language islands, and you review them, you listen to them, and you start translating into the target language, looking at the mistakes, and trying again.
Wow, I
And
mean,
again until you can do it easily with no mistakes.
well,
That is real fluency training. Oh, and earlier I talked about an exception to the rule with
yeah, I mean, you talked about a lot of things earlier that you've kind of contradicted since, but go ahead.
comprehensible input. There is, in fact, one type of comprehensible input that will help your speaking skills. I'm talking about repetitive reading or listening to the same lines over and over again with spaced repetition. This will help you
That is not what comprehensible input is. Like, this guy is like a bad idea machine.
improve your speaking skills. Because after dozens of reviews, listening to the same lines over and over
You
again,
will fall
know
asleep.
them so well that you'll be able to deliver them fluently.
Like, I mean, okay. Where's he gonna, like, show his results, though? Like, he's making some amazing claims here. But, yeah. Jesus. Okay, we are slowly 104,000 views. The most brutally effective. My channel is in other languages. Okay, let's watch. So he has, let's see, Mikhail Hyperpolyglot. So, okay, so he's talking about
Ты когда-нибудь слышал?
So, okay, so we just it's very handy that he put these into the description.
Ты когда-нибудь слышал, кто-то
Слышал.
свободно говорит на иностранном языке и думал, вот вы у меня был такой талант.
And what the okay, yes. First of all, слышал. 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 Слышал? Что это такое? He's talking about his special talent, apparently for jump cuts.
У меня так никогда не получится. Но у меня для тебя хорошие новости. Да, получится. Это реально.
Да, получится. Jump cut. Монтаж. Это... вот. Это изучать языки по-эйзенштейнски. We're doing it by the... We're gonna have a montage. Like... fucking hell.
Для любого. Язык может выучить каждый. И довольно быстро. И я сейчас не в стиле позитивного мотивационного спикера. Но
Okay, I mean... Okay.
la plupart des gens perdent 5 à 10 ans à essayer d'apprendre une langue avec des cours, des applications, des livres de grammaire, des flashcards, et malgré tout, ils ne sont même pas capables d'avoir une conversation simple. Mais si vous suivez exactement ces plans pendant 12 mois,
C'est long. Wow, so this must be that like perfect pronunciation he keeps on talking about.
in einer Fremdsprache wirklich fließend zu werden, musst du ungefähr 10.000 Wörter lernen. Und in diesem Video zeige ich dir ganz genau, wie du das in 3 Monaten oder weniger schaffst. Warum?
Like, oh. I mean, I would not be doing that if I were like using his particular hustle grift. I think it's a grind grift. It's a grind grift. The idea is that it feels horrible to do it, and it's boring, and it's frustrating, and it's annoying, and therefore it must be effective. So, if I were going to do that, and then call everybody who has a different approach at grifter or whatever, I don't know that I would make a whole bunch of videos where people can
En
actually...
este video te voy a explicar cómo puedes aprender a hablar cualquier idioma con fluidez en 3 meses o menos.
Yeah.
Te mostraré paso
Like, I mean, you can already see just the difference between... here he's speaking a native language, I mean, and even English, which is clearly the language that he speaks best, other than Spanish and Basque. But, yeah, it is time for me to wrap up. And so I will be back on Friday at 4:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Thanks to everyone who joined in. I hope you enjoyed the stream. It is time for me to think about eating stuff. Have a